What's up, guys? Jeff here, Grit City Fitness and Performance, and today we've got a daily fuel that is on the topic of learning the rules like a pro. Now, basically, learning the rules like a pro means learning everything you need to know. It means doing the basics really, really exceptionally well, getting really, really good at them, and knowing all the surrounding components and pieces and parts. Now, you guys being in this challenge, or you guys watching this, means that you guys have been following rules and learning systems and processes and protocols. What we take from that, though, is we are learning the rules like a pro, right? And so if you guys have ever watched football, Richard Sherman, what am I thinking? Richard Sherman, cornerback for Seahawks, he's a perfect example of the idea of learn the rules like a pro, right? Learn the rules like a pro. If you've ever watched Richard Sherman, he gets away with a shit ton of stuff that the average player would not get away with. If you watch him, oftentimes you might think that he plays dirty. You might often think that he has broken a rule. You might often think that he had done something that he's not allowed to do. But he almost always gets away with it. The reason he always gets away with it is not because he's just sly. It's not because he is better off with the referees than anybody else. None of those reasons apply. The reason Richard Sherman gets away with this stuff is because he learned the rules like a pro, which means he knows everything he can get away with and everything that he can do without getting himself in trouble. Now, oftentimes people will call him on it. People will say, hey, that wasn't fair, that wasn't right. But when he brings it back to the rule book, he says, look, this is the rules, this is what I did, and this is why I do not get a penalty. And they usually let him go, right? So the idea here is learn the rules like a pro so you can break the rules how you want, right? So when we go through this idea of learning the rules like a pro, when we come to our nutrition, if we can learn the rules of how nutrition works with our body, if we can learn the rules of how everything we do is a compounding interest in a positive or negative, when we learn the rules around how to achieve our goals and what is required, we can break the rules how we want and still get away with what we need, okay? Just like Richard Sherman. So when you learn everything and you apply everything, the other thing I heard, there's a guy named Jocko Willink. I think that's how I say his last name. And he says, discipline equals freedom. Now, what this means is when you go through the discipline and you have your habits and you have your discipline, it equals freedom because you now know everything you need to do, just like the rules of the professional, to now go and break them and get away with what you need. Okay? So, the daily fuel lesson of today. Learn the rules like a professional so you can break the rules in any way you want. So learn it perfectly so you know when and how you can break the rules and still accomplish your goals. How you can still successfully move forward in the direction that you want. How you can do everything perfectly and break the slightest rule in your nutrition, your fitness. You can go off track for a day or two and get right back on track because you know the rules and the principles and everything around it, so you can break a few rules here and there and still get away with it just like Richard Sherman and still get your outcomes, right? So daily lesson, guys. Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them any way you want.